because I want to move on. I want to talk about Dr. Disrespect. It was in the news. Well, we sort of on this talk about game developers and Riot here. Let's talk about Doc's new game studio and what he did this week. I kind of love this. I kind of also hate it. Dr. Disrespect hires Times Square billboard to tease possible Midnight Society game release date. The two-time went all out for a big announcement. So what it says here is their first game, so this is Midnight Society, which is Doc's game studio, their first game, Project Moon. He bought a billboard in Times Square to tease the release. The first frame displays the company's logo. Alongside it says a futuristic skyscraper surrounded by thunder. Then it transitions into a black screen with a larger variant of the logo and a message. And the message reads, "Enter the existence, July 29th. It generated a bunch of buzz on social media, 350,000 views, tons of comments and likes, but no one seems to know what it's about. Just that it's teasing that on July 29th, maybe that people will be able to test the game. One theory in this article is it's a vertical battle royale because of the skyscraper in the thing. I'm curious if this is like peak hype around a totally unannounced game. Like, are we just one step away of taking pre-orders on a black screen on a Times Square billboard? Or like, what do you make of the Docs?
I'd be very surprised if they have a game already. I mean, didn't we just start hearing about them building this studio like 6 months ago? So, I mean, it feels very unlikely that they have a product out, but if they do, good for them. In terms of the marketing strategy, the article kept referring to it as hiring a billboard. I don't know if that's like a weird translation or something. I don't know what that means. Like, you don't really hire a billboard, but
meaning, they bought it. They bought it.
Just a weird way to phrase it, I guess. I wasn't sure if I was understanding it correctly. Times Square billboard, not something you usually see for gaming, which is usually a lot more performance marketing based. Especially when you have someone like the Doc as your founder, you would think he should just be out there on Twitch, and that's all the like, why spend your money on a billboard? It's like the worst form of marketing, literally, out there. So I don't know.
I mean, Jeff, your point's so good, especially because wasn't Midnight Society's whole shtick was that it was a bunch of influencers and streamers and stuff like that like were all going to help contribute to the game. Like, why don't they just push it through those channels? Why do you need the billboard? Jimmy?
Exactly. I think when this idea was created and even launched and even seeing the results, everyone over there is probably very happy with themselves and happy with it, that it achieved, whatever they wanted it to. But for those of us that are criticizing, that's kind of the role we put ourselves in, and it's something that we all have fun doing, and the role that others come to us seeking as well. It's like, to your point, well, I thought the whole point of this was that these guys had massive influence, followings, distribution, that they can market and save costs there. And two, into something Jeff said, it's a total vanity play, right? Like, there's no reason to have a billboard in any city. There's no measurable ROI. It's just because you want to see your name on a billboard or you want to see your thing on a billboard. So I don't know why they couldn't have accomplished the same hype and kind of, questionable lore or what have you around the brand and what's happening on that date in a digital format that would have been much cheaper and just as well received, other than they just wanted to do something in Times Square, which, sorry, New York, to me is not as cool as it used to be, and something that, I don't have much interest in doing. So, hey, I respect the Doc. I like the brand. I have mixed feelings on whether or not this game is going to be a success, but these guys know marketing and they know audience building and growth and community mobilization. But this still feels like something that was forced, something that's not necessarily or inherently gaming culture, kind of like the NFT pre-order or early access community thing. So again, they're either trying too hard or I'm missing it completely. But either way, it's not necessarily, nothing's been a home run field to me yet. Not to say that it won't find success eventually, but it's missing the mark for me.
Matt says, yes, Jeff, thank you. The terminology they used was very weird when compared to other gaming news pieces. Yeah, the hiring of a billboard was weird. The Doc's gaming strategy is starting to look a lot like that of the companies he had claimed he was going to differ from. Well, here's my question to you guys, to chat and to both of you. Like, let's put our tinfoil hats on. What gets announced July 29th here, or whatever it is? What do we see July 29th from the Doc and Midnight Society?
The actual release date a year later.
Yeah, we're going to get a trailer. There's no way we're going to get a game. I mean, unless it's like a mobile game. I just can't imagine, it can't be more than 6 months since they started this. I guess someone could fact check that, but it has not been long enough where I think you could put out a real robust AAA game, particularly given the studio doesn't really, it never existed. So it's not like they have art assets and stuff to fall back on. It's a brand new game.
Matt says maybe the name of the game or the genre could be. And it feels like a big amount of spend just to announce the name, right? Like, just to be like, hey, here's the name. That's it. Thank you very much. Everyone can go home.
See you in a year. Here's the name.
Yeah.